Hello. How is everyone? For those of you guys who are in the States, happy Thanksgiving week. So, yeah, unfortunately, the Jaffbot cannot hurl Jello at itself. I know it is very unfortunate because on Twitch, it can do that. But for some reason, on YouTube, it cannot. Also, do you guys notice that the chat is now working this week? I didn't change a single thing. Didn't do anything to it. It just fixed itself. As I thought last week. Anyway, how's everyone doing? You guys might notice that I'm already standing. There is a very simple reason, and it's that I forgot my chair upstairs. And you might be thinking, how does one forget their office chair upstairs? Why would you have to move your office chair upstairs? Well, I move it upstairs every weekend so we can vacuum in here without having to move things around. I know, it's kind of weird, but it makes it very convenient because I like to game next to John over the weekend, next to him on his computer desk. So, and then I get to use my comfy office chair to do so during the weekends. And since right now I'm actually technically on my Thanksgiving break, our, routine has been kind of thrown off. So I forgot my office chair upstairs. And I was like, I'm going to play the flute for you guys anyway. So why bring it downstairs? So we're just standing today. That's how it be. YouTube is a perfectly stable platform with absolutely no glitches, vulnerabilities, or exploits. Well, in this case, it's actually Streamlabs that this little chat widget is created. So it's not really on YouTube here. I think it's actually more on Streamlabs. Anyway, but yes, Majimon Kichi, yes, seriously, no chair. Anyway, I should say my lightning hellos to everybody. Hello, Majimon Kichi. Hello, Asa, also known as Rogue. Hello, Michael, Jody, Chrissy. Anyone else in here? If anyone wants me to say hi, now is the time to. You could just put a little emoji, little hand waving if you guys don't really want to say anything, which I'm totally fine with. If some of you guys don't want to say anything, totally fine with that. I myself am a lurker. Hello, Courtney. Hello. Okay, so, yes, the standing and no chair will help burn calories that I'll consume this Thanksgiving. Yes, we are pre-burning the calories. Hello, Trent. How are you? Welcome. Yes, Asa is rogue. For those of you guys who don't know why I'm referring to some of you guys with different names, it's because we have some overlap with our Twitch audience and our YouTube audience, and some of us have different usernames over on Twitch. Even I have a slightly different username over on Twitch. It's just another flautist instead of just another flutist. And it's really just because, and I'm not even joking, guys, it's just because I actually do own, technically I do own Just Another Flutist on Twitch, but I had that account before it was, before the site that it was on was bought by Twitch. I know, that's how much of an oldie I am. So I actually claimed the name on justin.tv before it was bought by Twitch. And then I proceeded to lose the password to Just Another Flutist so I could never get in again. So yeah, And that username I don't know, I haven't checked in a while, but it has not been released to be up for grabs. So I can't get that name. So I took Just Another Flautist. So I'm Just Another Flautist on Twitch. Yeah. So all my Twitch friends know me as Just Another Flautist. Louis H, hello. How are you? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I know that some of you guys just want to lurk and don't really want to say anything in the chat. And I don't want to pressure you guys to have to say anything in the chat. So, yeah. Wait, Asa McQueen is actually just an alert type from McAfee antivirus? Really? Oh my gosh. Wait, Kazaa? Rogue system. Oh, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. I guess this is going to date me, but what is Kazaa? Am I even saying that right? Kazaa. For anyone who is wondering what's in the cup, I know it looks like coffee, but it's not coffee. This is Earl Grey tea with a little bit of vanilla soy milk in it. I nowadays do not drink coffee, like caffeinated coffee, before/during playing the flute, because I have discovered that having the intensity of coffee caffeine or espresso caffeine in me while playing the flute makes me play the flute worse. Can't imagine why. But yeah, it makes me play worse. But I have noticed that tea caffeine is light enough that I don't go overboard. So, hello, Jimmy. Wow, looks like Streamlabs finally caught up with the chat here. Yeah. Showing my youngness for not knowing Kazaa. Okay. Lori, hello. How are you? And hello. Did I say hello to Jimmy? Hello, Jimmy. How are you? Oh my gosh, you guys are the best. But yeah, so I'm having tea here. If you guys want to grab a tea as well, have some tea with me before we jump into today's sponsored bit by Hyperflute. Guys, I forgot to pin it in the chat. Let me pin the Hyperflute code into the chat. I need to do the streamer thing. Okay. Give me a second, guys. I'm putting it in the chat imminently. And then I am going to pin it. Pin message. Ahaha, there we go. Okay, so if you guys would like to get 15% off Hyperflute Volume 1 by the one and only Ale Batici, who also is the creator of Woodify, you can use my code HYPERJAF for 15% off until next week. That's right. It is a limited time. And then afterwards, you can still use the same code, but I think you only get like 5% off or something like that. Like, you still have an incentive to use it, all right? But, it's a smaller discount. So it's a higher discount now if you guys want it. It is a PDF with built-in MP3s so that you can actually hear what the extended technique is supposed to sound like. I think that's pretty darn cool. Hello, Pandora. Pandora is asking if I've ever heard of the Trevor James copper alloy flute. My dear, have I heard of it? Yes, I have heard of it. I have tried the alto flute, but I want to try the C flute. I have heard of it since it was a prototype, but I haven't been able to get my hands on it. I feel like if I had all the money in the world, I 100% would buy that thing to be my backup flute, because I have a very strong feeling I would love it, because I love copper content in flute. I don't know why. I mean, my flute, which I'll just open up to show you guys. My flute is rose gold. So, which means that it's a mixture of copper and gold. And it was kind of a happy accident because I didn't actually know that I would love having copper in my instrument. I'm not even joking, guys. The reason why I got rose gold instead of yellow gold was because rose gold was cheaper back when I bought it. Like, no joke, guys. That is like, I was like, I want a gold flute, and the cheapest gold flute that I could get is rose gold. So I'll get rose gold. So I got rose gold before it was a thing, before it was trending in the flute world, before it was trending as in like interior design. Guys, I was ahead of the times. Would the copper alloy sound different from traditional material? You know, I'll tell you something that people have told me. They have told me that they find copper, like at least they find my flute, that is, and I suspect that it has to do with the copper content. They find my flute hard to, like, if they were to blend to me, they find that really hard. Because it's like that, it's like they can't find my tone color. Like, my tone color just doesn't exist in their flute. These tend to be silver flutes, trying to blend in with me on a rose gold flute. But you can go the other way around. So it's very easy for you as a rose gold player, and I suspect as a copper alloy player, to probably be able to blend in with other sounds more easily. Like, it's easier to blend instead of being blended to. Does that make sense? So that is my suspicion. I have not proven it yet. Okay. So if one day I get my hands on the copper alloy flute, I think I might actually try something where I'll try something on my silver flute. I'll try playing something, and like I'll record myself, and then I'll try blending the copper alloy flute into that sound, and then also try the other way around. And then that way we can see if my suspicion is true or not. Don't know. So, but you know, I think I would probably pick that up in a heartbeat. Like, if I had all the money in the world and I did not have other priorities in my life, you know? Yeah. So, Michael, thank you so much for watching my YouTube video yesterday. I saw that there's quite a bit of views on that. So, thank you all for your support. And I saw the comments. I just saw the comments underneath. And my God, you guys are all just so kind. So kind. Yeah. So Chrissy, your flute is going in for a COA soon, and your parents are paying that as a Christmas gift. That's wow. That's fantastic. Pretty generous, if I may say so myself. Malleable. That's a good word for copper. I mean, copper itself is also a very, very malleable metal. So it's not exactly a surprise that the sound that comes out of it is also pretty darn malleable. Yeah. Yeah, rose gold, I find, has a very malleable texture, and I love it. It allows me to be a bit of what I like to call a chameleon, like a flute chameleon. So I can basically make myself sound almost any way I want. I would say that there are still some limitations to like how far I can go in the tone color spectrum. There's still some limitations. So if, for example, I were to pop on like an actual wooden head joint onto the flute, then I would be able to access even more of like the woody hollow tones, right? If I were to pop a silver head joint onto my, you know, this rose gold body, then I suspect that I would be able to access more of the silver tone color, you know, that type of thing. So that's what I feel, at least. So if anyone else also has copper content in their flute, please let us know. If you're watching this after the fact, after the live stream is over, but you have a flute that has copper content in it, please share your experience with it in the comments below. I will actually probably read it eventually. So, does the Flute Center have the Trevor James Copper-Elert flute in their inventory now? Ooh, I might ask for it by name. Yes, excellent, excellent. I've been waiting for that, actually. I've been waiting for it to get into their inventory. Jimmy, thank you for letting us know. All of us, that is, because I'm sure a bunch of us are going to be looking at it. I mean, come on. A lot of us, like, let's just be real here, okay? How many of us in here will just go to Flute Center's site and just Google? I mean, come on. You like let's be real here, okay? I think we all do. You guys just go there and Google. I have actually had Google sessions with my students. You know? I would love to see in the chat. You guys can just put a hand up or something, you know, if you are also the same. Okay. Oh, Jody, you were the one. You were the one who recommended the Scheherazade. Yes. Wait. Unedited version? Another recommendation with Christmas coming? Okay. Yeah. Send in that recommendation. Put it in the chat so everyone else can see it too. I loved it. Yo, I love that you didn't spoil what was so fun about that recording. Like, you didn't spoil it for me, you know? And so, like, I just experienced the random screaming that happened because I was just had it off to the side while I was like doing other stuff, and I was like, what is happening? This is so cool. You do it all the time, Pandora? There you go. There you go. Majima Kichi also been binge looking. Rogue also. No, oh, you go. Yes, I have done some binging on BNH Photo. I have, because, you know, with all this like tech stuff, you know. You know, Michael, you can try stuff out in Canada at Long and McQuaid. Long and McQuaid. I used to work as a flute teacher at a Long and McQuaid. There you go. Majimo and Kichi also agrees. Long and McQuaid. They have a pretty good selection of flutes. Twig in Montreal also has a great selection of professional level flutes too. So if you're in the Montreal area, go to Twig. If anyone from Twig is watching this, hello. I've sent a few of my students to you. Unedited version of the Nutcracker Suite featuring the Rotterdam Philharmonica. Ooh, 1 hour and a half long. All right, Rotterdam Philharmonic. Let me look that up, and I'm going to put that in my my watch history. Okay, let me look it up really quickly. And then I wanted to tell you guys one more thing, just because I think you guys will think it's hilarious. And then let's do some Hyperflute. What do you guys say? So, Rotterdam Philharmonic Orchestra. What? It's the second one. It's the second autocomplete. Rotterdam Philharmonic Orchestra Nutcracker. 1 hour, 31 minutes and 41 seconds. There it is. Perfect. Beautiful. I am putting that in my there we go. Wow. This conductor is, oh, what a dream to like follow. He's so easy to follow. Yeah, he looks so easy to follow. Yo, you guys want to see what a good conductor looks like? This video that Jody recommended is the one. Okay, that is now in my watch history, and I will be listening to that for the next little while. Yeah. Wait, go to B&H photo and look at Linhoff. BH photo video, Linhoff. What is this? What is this? Oh, wow, these are expensive. Oh, I see. I don't even know what this is for, but they're pretty pricey. Wow. Oh my. Yes. Large format cameras. Ew, I see. Alrighty. Guys, I have one really random thing to tell you guys, only because I mentioned it at the end of the last stream, and I feel like I need to round out the story for you. So I mentioned that I was getting my COVID booster shot, right, on Friday. Okay, let's give you guys a bit of context. Usually, I'm sure all of you guys share a similar experience. Usually, one either shows not that many symptoms at all, or you just get really sick, okay? I've pretty much only heard one of the two, okay? But well, let's not spoil it yet. The first vaccine was pretty bad. I would say that I basically got a little sick for a day, and then I was fine. The second time was bad. Like it was, I couldn't do anything. It was horrible. Basically moved around at like, like a snail's pace around the house. Like I literally was like walking this slowly, like not even joking, had to walk that slow for my second vaccine. But then again, in 24 hours, it like went away. Like, it's just like went away like a fever dream. Third time, it wasn't as bad as the second one, but I was just weak enough that the sound of my own voice was too loud for my own head. And I would cause myself pounding headaches by just speaking. I know. Okay. Now, and all of those 3 times, I've always felt like some level of dead. Okay. So I was expecting this time around that I would also feel some level of dead, right? Okay. So this time around, because the last booster shot, I made the very bad mistake of thinking that I could teach the next morning. That did not happen. I had to cancel all my lessons the next day. No, I had to cancel all my lessons except the first one because I could teach the first one, and then I started to feel ill after that, right? So I just canceled all the rest of my lessons except for the one that I taught in the morning. Well, this time around, I was like, I'm going to be smart, okay? So we took our booster at around lunchtime because from all the other times, the symptoms don't really hit us until the evening, right? Or like in the middle of the night, which is exactly what happened. So I was able to come back, teach a couple lessons, and then still feel fine all the way up until we went to sleep. Like just like a sore arm, and that was it. And then, guys, I woke up at 3 a.m. feeling like I had just ingested 5 shots of espresso. Just like bouncing off the walls. Like I felt like I had the zoomies. Just like I was just so restless. Like I was like, what is happening to me? Right? Couldn't sleep for like, I don't know, at least 3 hours after that, if not more. And then, no, because I woke up at 3. I don't think I could sleep till 8. I think it was something ridiculous like that. So I think I was awake for like 5 hours and then fell asleep at around 8 and finally woke up at 10. And by the time I woke up at 10, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm now only on maybe 1 or 2 shots of espresso, you know? So like clearly it's like getting less and less. And then the strangest thing happened, which was at lunchtime, the tides changed. I suddenly became too fast for my own head. That's right. So if I went like this, pounding headache, okay? If I like went to sit down, pounding headache. If I sat up, like if I stood up from sitting down, pounding headache. Just like, even if I just went like this, pounding headache. Just, I had to move, like keep my head level and move this slowly to not have a pounding headache. That was so weird, guys. And then it started to dissipate a little bit by the time I went to sleep. And then in the morning, I woke up and I was completely fine. Like nothing ever happened to me. The end. That is the story of my 4th COVID shot. It was an adventure. So far, I have never heard from anyone else that they have had this particular experience of feeling like they were on 5 shots of espresso. Pandora, have you seen the video where I did top 7 weird flutes at Flute Center? Because I actually got to try the Dryad's Touch. You might want to check that out. That one has my thoughts on it. It is a beautiful flute, but it's actually too gold for me. Like it's too round. Yeah. Did I have the espresso poo as well? You know, thinking back, yeah. I'm just gonna say it. I think I did. So for interesting, Chrissy. So you also had like really different responses too to each of the vaccines. I had pretty different responses, but this one was the most different out of all of them. Oh, John, you only had welcome, John. You only had a sore arm in all 4 shots. Amazing. But you did get COVID with bad symptoms. Oh no. Yeah. So, you know, guys, that was fun. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. I was fully expecting the like feeling dead, you know, feeling ill kind of, you know, like that feeling. I did not expect to get the freaking zoomies at 3 a.m. I just did not expect that. I like felt like I could go for a run. Like, but it just didn't really make any sense to go out for a run at like 3 a.m., you know, because it's like super cold here too. So like, yeah. That the bivalent was the one that I got. I got the bivalent booster. So yeah. Ah, interesting, Rogue. Wow, looks like all of us had very different responses, not only from each other, but also to all like 3-4 different shots. That's so interesting. Yeah. You're quite excited to know what your body is going to do with the fourth one. That's how I felt this time too. Because like, okay, for me, I'm the type of person who's like, I know that I'm going to feel fine 24 hours after these symptoms first onset. Because that part has stayed the same. That part has stayed the same in all 4 vaccines. That like anywhere from 12-ish, maybe 15-ish hours to 24 hours after the first onset of symptoms. After that, it just disappears. Like, it's like nothing happened to me. So for me, I'm like, okay, that's a pretty great trade-off for, some immunity. And, really what it is that if you get COVID, you just don't get it as badly. So like, at least that's what I think it does. So I'm like, that's a good trade-off. I think that's a good trade-off, like feel crummy for like 24 hours and then you just kind of forget about it and move on with your life, So like for me, I also was kind of like, I wonder what's going to happen to me this time, I did not expect that. I did not expect that. Oh no, Michael, you had COVID on your birthday? Oh, that's sucky. That's really sucky. Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, no. The vaccines are not God tier, armor. Like you don't get like plus 100% defense against COVID. Okay. Like that's just not how it works. Okay. Humble flutist, hello, welcome to the stream. We're just talking about my very strange response to the 4th COVID vaccine. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it's more that like it just kind of helps your body not contract it as badly. Oh, Humble Flutist, you're Jenny Flutist from Twitch. Hello, Jenny. Welcome. How are you? Yeah. Oh, you have to clear it with the skin drug trial you're on first. Oh, that's true. Because I think it's because the COVID vaccines are live vaccines. So you have to make sure that it doesn't interact with other medication and other live vaccines that you're getting. Yeah, I believe that's it. Because we talked to a doctor about it too. Because we were asking like, is it okay for us to get the flu shot like basically like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks before we get the bivalent? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. But they're like, it's good that you checked though, because I think it's something like you don't want more than one live vaccine in you at a time, something like that. Ooh, deathly sick from all 3 shots. Oof. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you got better, Jody. My gosh. You chickened out last minute? Well, Jenny, let me tell you. Okay. Actually, was the bivalent even available at that time a month ago? Because maybe you can get the bivalent now. So I had the weirdest experience with the bivalent. Like, John didn't get this. It was just me. Like, I went hyper mode. Like, actually was hyper Jaff. Wow. Great segue into the sponsored segment of our live stream. But I actually was hyper Jaff. Like, zoomies at 3 a.m. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm having a little bit of like some phlegm business because it is kind of cold where we are here. So apologies for that. Oh, was the bivalent already available in September? Maybe what it is was that it was out in September, but maybe it wasn't out in my area yet. I think that's what it was, because that's one of the reasons why we waited so long until now to get in. But the other thing was we're trying to time it so that we get it 2 weeks before we start seeing a lot of people. So, you know, your parents got it the first week it came out. Oh, interesting. All right, guys, I think we should get into our Hyperflute portion of this video. I'm just going to check what we're doing because I think we're in the second to last live stream for this. So give me a second to check what chapters we are doing today. I just need to check my little calendar. Checking my calendar. Okay, what are we doing today? Today is the 21st and we are doing voice and sound chapter. Ooh, fun. Very fun, very, very fun. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys over here. And then I guess I'll put myself over here. And then we need to go here. I'm so glad my chat is actually working today. That was so sad last week. My gosh. Okay. Now, because it is so cold, my whatchamacallit heater is going and the fan is going too. And so I think I might just push this microphone away while I play the flute, just so you guys don't get so much of the like heater fan sound. So apologies for that today. I might, when this room heats up more, like later in the stream, if we're playing more stuff, I think I might just turn off my heater and my fan. And then that way we can use the flute microphones. You can't really hear it. Yeah, with this microphone, you guys can't hear it. It's with the other ones you can, because the fan is actually directly underneath one of my microphones. One of my flute microphones, and so it does this kind of like, you can hear that. It's really annoying. I noticed it in one of my streams, like one of my practice streams, and I was like, oh no can do. So can't hear the haters either. Great. Noah, welcome to the stream. You are wanting to have some tips on playing without tenseness. Let me write that down. Give me a second here. I'm just going to open a little thing for me here. Let me write your question down. So at Noah, any tips on playing without tenseness? By the way, guys, I noticed that my room has gone up to temperature, so I'm actually just going to straight up turn off the heater and the fan right now. So give me a second. Okay, we're going to be able to use our flute microphones after all. Okay, so Noah, I've written your question down on the side, so I'll remember, and we'll get to it right after we do this little sponsor bit. Okay. Your question actually comes at a really good time because it didn't really fit in the video that I just made. I just uploaded it yesterday, and I have been thinking of kind of like summing up like a few tips that helped me over the last year. So hopefully it'll help you out. But we got to do the sponsored bit first. So we'll do it first, okay? Okay. Suddenly 20 degrees colder. Ah! You're literally bleeding in your eyes right now, Jenny? Oh no. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I really hope you recover soon. And that it's an operation, isn't it? Yeah. You're having a small operation done. Well, I hope that goes very smoothly, and I hope your recovery goes very smoothly and very fast. If you can afford it, definitely take a break from, I don't know, life, basically. Or if not, at least take it more easy. I have found that sometimes I have to just take a day easier, and that will already help. So, yeah. Oh, something that spiked your blood pressure. Oh, no. All right. Let us begin. So we're going to start the clock 15 minutes. And hopefully, hopefully, we get to what we want to do. Ah, there it is. Okay, I just had to wait a second for it. Just had to think, you know. Okay, voice and sound. Well, let's first listen to Ale do this. So we are doing singing and playing. I think this one, quite a lot of people do learn this one because it does really help you open up your throat. Also gets you to really support really well, put a lot of air into the flute. So this one, I think a lot of people have actually learned if you go to music school. I think at some point when you go to music school, you will have learned this or tried this. So let's hear Ale do it. Yeah, so that's him changing his voice, but not so much the pitch. I've done something like this for Tomash. Tomash sometimes shows up in the chat here. I love how much he's doing this. Yeah, I definitely tried doing it on the flute. I'm amazed you could do it while whistling though. I can't do that. Oh. That was so cool. Oh, so I did something like this actually for Tomash. Tomash sometimes shows up in the chat. He's a wonderful composer who hired me to record a piece that he wrote. And it did include this singing while playing. And there was one point where I think I'm bending the note while also changing the pitch of my voice underneath as well. I'm actually thinking maybe I can actually grab that out and show you guys. Let me see if I remember how to do it. So, because I have. Oh, it was a trill. So it was a trill while I stay on the same note, like the bottom note of the trill, and then as the trill dissipates, I actually lower my pitch down. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Okay. So I think it was that. It's pretty creepy sounding, and it's amazing. And then there was the, there's a tritone, tremolo, and I slide the opposite way. So the tritone goes between F and B, and then I slide from F to D-ish and then come back up. It doesn't have to be that precise, but something like that. I did it a lot better in the recordings, but it's really creepy sounding and it's amazing. I hope you guys like that. Okay. Let me see. He gives you some like practice tips. That's really useful. Yeah, play the note, then pitch match with your voice, and then start to play and add the voice slowly. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about like exactly how I kind of learned how to do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I am on purpose slapping the keys. Because I think we wanted that kind of clicky, like that sort of disconcerting clicky sound. I think that's what we wanted. So I was kind of doing that from muscle memory from practicing that so much. All right. Wow. So he's writing here that sometimes the voice part can just be written as a different part. So like the upper staff is normally used for the flute and the lower one is for the voice. That's interesting. That's interesting. I will note that sometimes like, because sometimes depending on like, you know, how high or how low your natural voice is, sometimes composers will make a little mention here. They'll say something like, oh, hey, if you can't sing this low, feel free to sing it an octave higher. Or if this part is too high, feel free to sing it an octave lower, right? Like the composers do understand that we do have limitations with the range of our voices. So usually there's a note that says that too. Yeah. Let's see. Less frequently, both actions are notated in one system. What was the one I did? Mine was in two staffs. Mine was in two staffs. And it was indeed the flute part is up on top and the voice is on the bottom. The reason why I think I didn't notice that is because in the part that I have that Tomasz wrote, he actually labels the word flute on the upper staff and then the word voice on the lower staff. So there's, you know exactly what's happening. Like you don't have to like especially know the notation for that to know what's happening. So yeah, I would say that most composers would give you that kind of like courtesy notation so that you don't really have to think too hard about what's happening. But yeah, he's right. He is right. The flute part is on top and then the voice part is on the bottom. But then sometimes you get it written on the same thing. But usually they kind of tell you. They usually will put like a little note in here of like what's voice, or they might like actually like kind of like give you this notation in the like note section that comes before the piece, and they'll tell you what to do. So yeah. We kind of finished that very quickly. We're supposed to save multiphonics for next week, but you know what? I don't think it hurts for me to try. Let's try for the next little while because I have until 3 o'clock my time to do this. So we know that the flute part, what the flute part is. I could try this. I could try it. Here, let me make it a little bigger for you guys. Oh, interesting. Do you guys notice that the voice part is notated with square note heads? Look at that. Do you guys notice that that's square? Here, let me make it really big so you guys can see it. Look, there's square note heads. That's so interesting. Okay, I have time this time. We don't we're not like the other times where we went overtime like crazy. I have time. So let's try it a little bit. I might only get through one bar, but we can try it. Okay. What do you guys say? Black Swan, hello. Yes, enjoy your lunch. Jenny, thank you for dropping by the chat. Sacrilege. Sacre bleu. Do you guys know where I learned that I guess in French it is actually cursing, but I learned it from Beauty and the Beast. Do you guys know? I had no idea what that even meant for the longest time. Because doesn't it mean sacred blue, which is like a reference to something in the church, right? Isn't that what that is? Something like that. Anyway, all right, you guys want me to do it? Okay, let's do it. Let's try. So let me play. Let's do 2 bars at a time. Okay, I'm going to play the top part just so I know what the fingers are doing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the bottom part on the flute, and then I'm going to try and sing it. So we will test my pitch matching, see if it's going to work. So let's do this. Could do with more warm-up, but that's what the flute bar is doing. I think I can just rely on like my fingers to know what to do there, but let's see what the voice parts must be. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da-dee-da-da. 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 Okay, so if I go, oh my gosh, it's a half step apart. No. Did I even do it right? No, I was a half step above. Ba-da-da-dee-da. Ba-da. Ba-ba. Oh my gosh, because my brain wants to pitch match the B. Ba. See? Ba. Da, da, da. See, I either want to do the B or I want to do a whole tone underneath. Ba, da. Ba. Ba, ba. Okay. Ba. Maybe I'll do that. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, sounds annoying to execute? Is. I think that's what it is. Okay, I'm holding on to the pitch a little better. 2, 2. Did the ooh make it worse? Oh, okay. Okay, that's one way to practice it, is to actually pitch match with an A sharp first, and then just lift my finger off and keep the pitch the same. I changed, so I was good for the first 4 notes. And the last 2 notes, I pitch matched the A sharp to the B. Okay. Okay, I think what I would do if I was practicing this for real is I would have to do that practicing. Like, I would have to learn to hold a half step below the flute. There. That was somewhat right by the end. I think that is the best that I can do in like 7 minutes. Oh, gives a wider bottom lip. Ooh is a little too close. True. I think by the end I was doing oh. Okay. Well, we did it. I want to do one more thing. By the way, thank you, Hyperflute, for sponsoring that 15 minutes. If you want to get your copy of this amazing ebook, Hyperflute Volume 1, use my code HYPERJAF for 15% off your copy using my affiliate link that is in the description below, and it is also a pinned comment in the chat. Have fun. Limited time. All right. Limited to like basically next week. I think next week is like basically end of November is like the like that's how long the 15% lasts. Okay. Your favorite phrase in practice sessions. Next. This is pretty tough. I could see myself eventually learning how to do this, but I would have to devote like actual legit practice sessions to be able to pull this off. Like I could do it. It would take a long time. You know, not unlike me memorizing the Karg-Elert Caprice number 29, which is exactly what I want to play for you guys right now. Because I think I'm at a point now where I can put it down. I can do it in my sleep now. So, shall we test me? Here we go. Back to this screen. We will do that. Blast through the Karg-Elert. And then we will answer Noah's question. Noah, I hope you're still here. I'm so sorry that this is taking a little while. But I just want to make sure that we get through what we want to achieve in this live stream. Okay. Without further ado, let's do this. Noah. We're gonna blast through this. Here we go. I wonder why the Jello is not working. Oh, take out the at in front of Magic Monkichi's name. Then it'll work. Okay, I made one mistake because I had a brain fart, but not bad. I'm a little warmed, like not warmed up too. Don't mind the grand retard at the end. I just like ending it that way. Okay. You know how I feel, guys? Because I have a little bit of the jitters doing it for you guys, because I know that we're wrapping it up today with the Karg-Elert. I think I feel the way that I feel in front of my teachers. You know, like when you play by yourself, it's like, yeah, you know? And then you play in front of your teacher and you're like, I swear I could do that 20% better. Like, I swear I could do it 20% better. But we're going to call that a day. What do you guys say? I think I know it. What do you guys say? Do I get a pass from you guys? Do I get a pass? Do you guys pass me? Yes, that's true. I could probably do it 20% cooler without knowing that everyone's watching me. Yeah. There's just this like extra bit of like, oh crap, when you know that everyone's watching you. Let me know, guys. I'm waiting to hear. There's a bit of a lag between me and you. So I'm waiting to see if anyone. Yep, Jody has passed me. Thank you. Others? Thoughts? I mean, I will still take critiques. If you guys have some good critiques for me to consider, I will take it. Let me know. Oh, interesting. So funny enough, by the way, I saw you enter the chat a while ago, Gentle Whale, but I just didn't have a chance to say hi. Hi, Gentle Whale. Welcome back to the stream. Funnily enough, you have less stress in your exam recital in front of examiners versus playing for your teacher an excerpt you learned in the week. Yes, I completely agree with you. Now, when you have your exam recitals, do you also have like the rest of the audience there? Like it's not just the panel, right? Because I feel like if I have like a mixed audience, I'm more relaxed, you know. Yay, thanks guys. Yay, I passed. There's still like, I'm still making very small mistakes, but I will say that they're like kind of nervous mistakes, you know. But like they're mistakes that I feel like I can recover from. They're mistakes that I feel like I don't have to stop the whole thing. I could just keep going, you know. Thank you, Rogue. The understudy to an entry-level Padawan concurs. I love that that is your title for yourself. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I definitely have like, I didn't drink that much of my tea, okay? So I'm not that hopped up on coffee. Or, I mean, caffeine. This is tea. So I think it is a little bit of nervous jitters. I also haven't played in 2 days. So there's that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. So some of the smaller exams are just the 2 or 3 professors. Yeah, that's true. Like, they're called juries in the music schools that I went to. The smaller exams where it's only like 2 or 3 professors, where you're just in a tiny little room, right? You're not even like in an actual recital hall. But your like big recitals, like your 3rd year, 4th year recitals, those ones you are kind of expected to invite anyone you want, not just the panel. So I find that the ones where there are more people, I kind of feed off of the energy of the audience. And so if I have more of my friends or people who are really there to support me, I feel like I feed off of that positive energy. I sound like such a vampire when I say that, but I really do like feed off of that energy, in a much more, what's the word? Like I mirror that positivity, you know? So yeah, I agree, Gentle Whale. I feel like I could squeeze out 5% better on it, but it's time to put it down. It's like that 5% I would only squeeze out if I actually had to perform it like for a real recital, you know? Yeah. Oh, is it in Australia? You guys don't call the small exams juries. I see. Yeah, they're called different things around the world, you know? I'm always really interested to hear how like different people do it. Do we have judges and executioners too? No. Although one time, because the University of British Columbia in Vancouver is often used as a film set, a giant film set for random films being filmed around there. So one time there was no announcement made to the whole music school, you know. I walked into school and noticed that our building had turned into a juvenile detention center. Yeah, that's right. I mean, whoever did the set design did a really good job because it was very convincing, because I got kind of confused because I'm like walking into school and I'm like, why is this a juvenile detention center? No, but one time, you never know what stories will come out of me. Y'all should just keep saying random things in the chat because you'll have no idea what you might make me think of. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we got to get to Noah's question. Hi, Noah, if you're still here. Any tips on playing without tenseness? Okay. Good timing, because I have spent basically the bulk of this year, the bulk of 2022, figuring that out. Because last year around this time, I wasn't really actually trying to pay attention to like how to relax myself down or anything like that. I recognized that I was under a lot of stress due to my husband's TSW. And so I just recognized that and I just let it be. So sometimes you just gotta let it be for a little while. But things started to get better at the beginning of this year. So I thought that it would be a good time to start tackling, like essentially rehabbing myself. So there's a few things that we tried. One was fixing where I breathe from. Because if you breathe from, a place that's too shallow, your muscles are going to get tense. Okay, you need to breathe, and essentially it's yoga breathing. So it's very, very low breathing from in front of your pelvis, basically. Okay, like down here. Like my belly button is right here, but I'm thinking of breathing from way under. Okay. There are various different ways that people have explained how this feels. Some people say it feels like they're breathing through their hips. Some people feel that, I believe, who was it? Majamokichi. Can you remind me which singer it was who said that it's basically like breathing through your hoo-ha? Okay. Lots of different ways that people have described how it feels. If you want to try out, what it feels like to access those muscles, I think Majamokichi was the one who sent me a really good video about it. Let me find that video. But Majamokichi, if you beat me to it, put it in the chat too. It's that class with the weights on the pelvis. I'm going to see if I can find it and put it in the chat. But this video was the video that made me realize that I had a pelvic tilt and therefore could not access my those muscles to go in and out. And so I discovered that I have actually never breathed from a very deep position because I've just never had access to those muscles before. So I had to spend about 2 months fixing my pelvic tilt. And that made it so that it was a lot easier for me to, actually breathe deep. It's essentially yoga breathing. So also try some yoga as well. You can even just look up random yoga videos on YouTube and try them out and use yoga to train some really good deep breathing. Anyway, I'm talking too much and I'm not actually looking for this video. Majamokichi, did you find it? Is that the one? I think you found it. Wait. I think you found it. Yeah, so let me look here. Oh. There we go. Okay. Yep, that's the one. So, Noah, head on over to Majamokichi's link there and try out that exercise with like a heavy textbook or something, or something like a weight plate. Okay. And try out that exercise and it'll teach you which muscles have to actually move in and out as you breathe in and out. I also learned another term from one of my students, and I did ask my student if I could share this. They do roller derby, and one way that their instructor helps remind people to fix their pelvic tilt is they go around the rink yelling, "Hide your butthole." Now, if y'all are standing and you are pretending that you are hiding your butthole, you will have inevitably fixed your pelvic tilt. It is kind of an amazing trick, okay? So all that combined can help you actually breathe deep. So I find that breathing is really kind of like the base foundation of being able to loosen the rest of your muscles, okay? So when you do that, when you do that, okay, now that your breathing is all the way down here, there's a few things to keep in mind. So Majimon Kichi drilled into my head earlier this year that it needs to be a constant in and out. You can never hold on to air, okay? What you may actually find, especially when you're tense, is you're actually like holding your breath while just kind of breathing out. It's like weirdly holding your breath and breathing out at the same time, which means that you are constantly never deep breathing, okay? This apparently in the voice world is called stacking your breath, which you do not want to do. Because stacking your breath essentially kind of mimics you like almost hyperventilating. Like you feel very short of breath all the time. And the more short of breath you are all the time, the more tense you're going to be. So I also had to fix that this year and learn to actually like just let go of my air and not hold on to my air. So always in and out, like inhale, exhale, everything. Don't hold on to any air inside here. Like don't try and have a reservoir of air to quote access, because the thing is, if you think of it that way, you're just going to hold it there and never access it. You're essentially holding your breath while playing the flute. Like it's horrible actually. So there's that. What else did I learn this year? Posture things. Make sure your shoulder is down, relaxed, and slightly rolled back, right? And then also hang your elbows down too. Like you don't want to do you don't want them snapped up against you either, because that also is bad. You want them kind of hanging, if that makes sense. Just hanging, all right? But not like this either, because your rib cage needs to be able to expand when you breathe in and out, okay? But yeah, the shoulders rolled down, back and down. Like don't hyperextend it either, but just like in a relaxed state really helps. The other thing too is making sure your head is in line with your body, because if you play in like computer stance, that is also puts a lot of extra tension in when you play. The other thing that I figured out I was doing recently was every time I would try to get a note, like I was putting effort into playing a note, I would smash my chin into my neck, which of course blocks any sort of openness in your throat, okay? So you want to like kind of feel that the front of your throat can open up. Like even when you're like inhaling and exhaling, that it's like really nice and open here, okay? And then I would say maybe one more thing is I am currently learning how to push air from down here while thinking of like my chest and my mouth as just a big resonance chamber, you know? So don't push air from your mouth, like don't support from your mouth. I believe that's what Professor Alice Dade says. At Dade Alice on Instagram, if you guys want to check out her stuff. So like don't push from your mouth, but think of it as like it's vibrating in certain points of your mouth. Yeah. Oh yeah, the skateboard stance. So combined with the corrected pelvic tilt, I found that because Nicholas Flute who also is a regular here, mentioned that he went to a masterclass where they got him to just hold a something heavy above his head. So if you hold something heavy above your head, you'll notice that you have to like kind of like curve in your pelvis, so it corrects your pelvic tilt, and it just kind of forces you to engage your core. Then you stand in a mini squat, just a little mini squat, and then it further keeps it engaged. And I discovered by Majimukichi telling me that I can sort of have one foot in front of me and then one foot behind me, so that I could do like a little bit of like a shifting forward or back depending on the type of support that I need for a certain note. I realized that's essentially you're essentially on a skateboard. So if you pretend that you're on a skateboard, or like in Super Smash Brothers, or in like the those fighter games when they're like, the characters are like getting ready, they're like default animation where they go like this, okay? You're kind of in that sort of like fighter stance, like the fighting game fighter stance, 3, 2, 1, fight, like that, or go, so like it's that kind of stance. And I find that like, because the skateboard stance essentially forces you into a mini squat, and and because of that, it also forces your pelvic tilt to be corrected, plus being in that mini squat with your pelvic tilt corrected, it means that your lower core is just constantly engaged. You can't unengage it. And so it basically takes your brain off of worrying about breathing. You just magically sound amazing, like all the time. Yeah, Mortal Kombat fluting. Finish him. I totally played Mortal Kombat with my cousin. My cousin is many years older than me, and he played all the fighting games. Like we played Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. He also had Clay Fighter. Clay Fighter was really funny. Yeah. So, yeah. Yes, I do what Majimukichi says here about the skateboard pose, is that the front foot toe is facing forward and then your back foot is horizontal. It is actually essentially its fighter game stance. The default, when they go like this. Because they do that with a mini squat. They have one foot in front of them, right? Their pelvic tilt is like perfect, there's no tilt to it, so they are actually using a lot of lower core muscles and their hip muscles actually to keep themselves balanced. That's actually where your balance comes from. I discovered this summer that is why my balance has been so bad all these years, is because I've never actually had the chance to develop the balance muscles because of my pelvic tilt. But now that I've corrected my pelvic tilt, now when I do my workouts, I've noticed that I'm now able to access the muscles I should be using to balance myself. And they're getting stronger. So I noticed that my balance is getting better. So all in all, really good stuff, So all of a sudden I impale someone with a flute. Fight! Yeah. So, Noah, that's what I learned this year. And I hope that helps you out. I kind of wanted to make a video about all the things that I just shared with you. And you just made it really easy on me because I basically just did it. So, great. Yeah, exactly. When I demoed the foot position, I auto went into the mini squat. Yeah, like that fighter stance is like, it's perfect. I'm actually standing like that right now. Like I'm doing the like what I am calling the handsome man stance. Because in Genshin Impact, which is full of handsome anime men, they all stand like this. All of them. They all stand with their pelvis perfectly in line, okay? And they are all standing in a mini squat. All of them are standing in a mini squat. You know? They have that kind of like cool look about them, you know? Yeah, handsome man stance is what we call it over on Twitch. Yeah. You're welcome, Noah. Thank you so much for saying that. That means a lot to me because, you know, I'm a teacher. So that is like the highest compliment you can give me. So thank you so much. I'm really glad that it really helped you out. And I hope it helped out a lot of people in here too, because I did notice a lot of comments under the video that I made yesterday that like a lot of other people are also going through really stressful times, either because of COVID or just life. Life just kind of happens, you know, and you don't really have a choice. Noah, I just saw earlier in the chat you mentioned that the hide your butthole thing is really, really helping. Yes. Yes. Hide your butthole. Yeah. Anyway, that was fun. Saturday night, welcome back. I love your question, which is, where does this little rest thing come from? One of my students made it for me. And it was because she was just so tired of watching me put my flute on the hard table with no protection. And she was like, nah, girl, that ain't gonna fly. And she made this for me. Oh no, Michael, that's so sad. I'm so sorry for your whole family. Allison, hello. I hope I caught you in time. Did you have a good flute lesson? How was your flute lesson? Wonderful. Oh, Chrissy, you got flashbacks to your marching band time playing the flute while marching while reading notes from your holder on your arm. So you had to like play like this, right? Oh, ouch. Ouchie, ouchie. You're thinking of sewing on. Well, let me tell you, Saturday, my students sewed this. So let me go to, wait. Is it this one? It is. Okay. I can't remember which scene it is. Okay. So this is apparently like African style cotton, which really she picked because they just have beautiful designs. And so she just has, I believe what she probably initially did was wrong sides together, sew it together. Wrong sides. Is it wrong sides together? Yeah. Wrong sides together, sew it up. I think what she did was cut a piece of batting, there is some sort of like padding in here. So I think she cut a square of like batting or something like that would fit inside of here. And then she sewed that in just all around. And then it was probably I think she sewed it all the way around because I can see the beginning and the ends of the stitching on this side. But yeah, so that's how she like closed it up. So I think what probably happened was probably sewed this together like this. So I think it was like one sheet and then folded in. No, what am I saying? Fold it in right sides together. Sew like this. Turn it inside out. Put a piece of padding or batting or whatever inside that fits in perfectly. And then run it through the machine again now that it's the right way around. I think that's all it is. So, and I've been using it religiously since she gave it to me, and it's been amazing. So, the reason why I use this instead of your typical flute stand is just because the setup in my office makes it really, really awkward. Because I'm like walking around and I'm like, rolling around in my chair. So there's actually a higher chance of knocking my flute over when it's on a flute stand than if it were just like on my desk like this. So I hope that was helpful. Did I swap the flute? Don't worry, Majimonkichi, I did. I swapped it. Thank you for checking, though. Yeah. Oh, Courtney, you enjoyed my video about playing under stress. I'm glad. I felt like that was a video that needed to be made especially because I was going through it and I had already talked about it on a stream. So I was like, why don't I just edit it together into a little video for you guys, Rogue, you always put down a shirt or a towel or something because you saw my little flute pad. Yeah, that's true. You can just fold up a towel. Like, you can just use like a longer like hand towel. You just fold it up and just use that. Like, if you don't want to sew, you could just do that. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Noah. You're very welcome for all the tips. Absolutely. I mean, that's why I like these streams. I like to just kind of chat with you guys, to be a nerd, like sewing a pillow, but only really long. Yes, indeed. I mean, you can get fancy with it if you want to. Like, if you really wanted to, you could like put a little zipper on one side or like, like little buttons on one side so you can like take out the padding, I guess, if you wanted to. And then so you could just like wash it, like you can get as fancy as you want with it. You can even, like, if you wanted to, you could do it almost like flute cozy style, where like maybe you have like an extra flap or something where you can like cover the flute. So when it's not in use, well, swab it before you put it in here, okay? But like you could like cover it to reduce oxidization, Yeah. I appreciate you making sure, Majimokichi. Why be bougie when you can be janky? Yeah, so you could just use a towel. Sean the flutist, who sometimes shows up here in this or lots of times shows up in these live streams, also known as Lucid over on Twitch, has suggested going to like Daiso or like really any like cheap store and getting the keyboard mats, like computer keyboard mats. So you want like the length that includes like having your keyboard and your mouse on it. Those ones tend to be long enough to put a flute on. So you can also just get one of those too. He says that it works great. Yeah. And those ones would be wider too. So like, let's say you wanted to put like flute and piccolo on there or something, then you'd have a lot of space, So like, that's also another idea. Yeah. You never leave your flute out because you have cats. Oh, there you go. Probably safer that you don't leave it out. Yeah. Allison, you got first chair in district. Congrats. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Yeah, I would say auditions are very stressful for me. Yes. I feel like I would have done a lot better in my auditions if I knew all this stuff about breathing. It's not like the deep breathing thing was never explained to me. It was explained to me so many times, guys. I have heard the whole breathe low, blah, blah, blah. I've heard that for years. But the thing that I didn't know about myself was that I had a pelvic tilt. That's what I didn't know. I knew I had a pelvic tilt maybe a few years ago, but I thought that was just an aesthetic thing to fix. I didn't know that it actually affected my breathing. Like, not like correcting your pelvic tilt actually makes your breathing better. Like, I had no idea. Not only that, it makes your balance better. I've even discovered it makes your digestion better. I'm actually less bloated because I fixed my pelvic tilt. Like, I feel like I would have done better in my auditions and my exams and stuff like that if I had known that about myself, because really, like, at the bottom of it, regulating your breathing is really what helps you, like, reduce the feelings of stress. So, would a Magic the Gathering playmat work? Yes, if it's long enough. I'm not actually sure how long a Magic the Gathering playmat is. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how long that is, because I've only played a couple of times, and I did not play with a playmat because I am not that fancy. We have a couple of other card games that we do have playmats for, though. But we are those nerds, okay? Like, we are actually the gaming nerds. Like, this morning, we did our, some, not all, but we did our weekly Genshin Impact bosses. Yeah, it is actually our Monday morning routine before work. John and I will do a few bosses together. Yeah, we co-op the bosses every Monday morning. I'm actually thinking of showing you guys, like, streaming us doing some weekly bosses when I'm on my break in December. I think you guys might just like kind of seeing the dynamic between me and John, because I know that he doesn't really show up that much. And he said that he would be down to live stream with me. What do you guys want to see? I was thinking I would do it over on Twitch. But I mean, if enough of you want to see it here, I'd be willing to do it here. You guys just let me know. One of your close friends has a rotated pelvis? I don't know what a rotated pelvis would. You mean rotated sideways? I don't know what a rotated pelvis would do to your breathing. I have no idea, because, I'm not a doctor. Yeah. But yeah, John told me he's willing to show up for a Genshin stream of us doing weekly bosses together. It goes by pretty fast because we do them every week and we have very overpowered characters. We will bring in one or two what we call potato characters, where, like, they're newer characters that we haven't built yet, but we're trying to, if you do more things with them and get more experience with them, you build up, quote, friendship with them. And then if you build up friendship up to level 10 friendship, you get a special name card that you can, show off. So we'll play with, like, two potato characters, but two, like, really strong characters. So you guys are in? Yeah? Sounds like you guys want to meet John a little bit more. Oh my gosh. Allison, are you who I think you are? I think I know who you are. But you changed your YouTube username, didn't you? Sumeru is amazing. The story, the music, the world quests, holy cow. All of it, top notch. They really upped their game. Pun intended. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, higher on one side. I could see how that could affect breathing. I could see that. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so, like, I won't give the ultimate, like, diagnosis here, but I wouldn't be surprised if that affected breathing. Yeah. Because I am correct. Okay. Got it, Allison. I was like, wait a second. I think I know who you are. Um, what was your username before? I forget what your username was before. Yeah. You've gone to FNM, Rogue. What's FNM? Is it magic? Is it like a magic, like, tournament type thing? Gosh, guys. Have you guys been to gaming tournaments? It's amazing. I mean, I love it. I've been to a few league tournaments. Like I've been to one, I think it was like the quarterfinals or the semifinals when they used to be held at PAX, the big video game convention that happens here in Seattle and now in many other places. But the original PAX video game convention is here in Seattle. And they used to host League of Legends. I think it was like the North American semifinals, quarterfinals, something like that. That was amazing. That was an amazing experience. That also kind of dates me a little bit too, because, you know, it's been a hot minute since that was a thing in PAX, you know. Friday Night Magic. Oh! Saturday night, your husband did FNM before COVID. Is that when you go to those game stores where they just have tables out for you to like play, right? To play Magic? Oh my gosh, I love those stores. Some of those stores, like in Seattle here, we have like one or two places. No, more than that. We have a few places where it's just it's a lounge. It's like a gaming lounge. There's one place where it's just a full-on restaurant, and then you can just take out games and just like play games while you eat. It's a full restaurant. Like you can just get like burgers and mac and cheese, whatever. Like, and this like pretty good quality food. Like it's not like microwave heat up stuff. Like it's a legit restaurant. And I think that restaurant even does catering. I was very sad that I only saw that they do catering. They even have like a banquet hall too. Like this is like a gaming restaurant that has full on banquet hall, you know, for catering. I was actually really sad that I didn't find that out until after our wedding. Because how awesome would that have been? I mean, I really loved our wedding anyway. Like, we made our wedding our own. It was fantastic. All the music was basically video game music. It was amazing. You know. Fun fact, I picked it, okay? But I walked down the aisle to Challengers from League of Legends. You guys can look that up if you want to. You can listen to it for free. They released it for free. But if you just look up League of Legends Challengers, you'll see it on YouTube. That was my bridal processional. Yeah, we blasted it. So it was fantastic. It was glorious. It was like, I felt like a warrior queen going down the aisle. It was amazing. I loved it so much. We had my best friend's then fiance, now husband, just like crank up the volume to the highest it would go for that song. Yeah, I might be a nerd. If Genshin had come out, then I think our wedding would have been mostly Genshin music. Because, guys, the music in Genshin is just, especially in Sumeru. I almost kind of feel like the composer, Yu Peng Chen, I kind of feel like it's like he's trying to test how much flute he can get away with. Okay? There is flute everywhere. Everywhere. Even the battle music has flute in it. Like, what? You know, like the key moments, like the like really like gut-wrenching parts of the story and stuff, flute. Everywhere flute. Flute is everywhere. This guy freaking loves the flute, you know? Oh yeah, the not green sleeves part. There's also the not canon in D part. I swear the rest of it to me sounds pretty darn original, but like that part I was like, honey. This is green sleeves. Have I found the YouTuber doing Genshin Impact flute covers? No. Who is it? That's awesome. Yay, another person doing it. There's the Chinese, there's a Chinese flutist. There's someone who does a lot of Genshin Impact covers on like the Chinese flute. Oh, very pretty. Very, very pretty. It's like fully produced and everything. Looks very expensive to have been made, but is very pretty. Very, very pretty. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. The Toronto has a lot of those like gaming like restaurants, coffee shops. I think that's my favorite. My favorite are gaming coffee shops. Oh my God. What's it called again? Snakes and Lattes, right? In Toronto. There's a few of them throughout Toronto. There's a few Snakes and Lattes. And guys, legit, the latte in there is really good. Some of the best latte I've had in a gaming coffee shop. It is amazing. Yeah. Oh, honey. Although to be fair, there is one tune in Sumeru in the new region in Genshin Impact that does kind of sound like "You raise me up so I can." What were the words? So I can stand on mountains. I was like, climb up does not work. Why is there an extra syllable? There. Yeah. Which, let me play that tune for you guys. It's a gorgeous tune, guys. It's gorgeous. But I figured it out by ear. If you guys want to like listen to the original soundtrack, it's also on YouTube. It's called Four Riddles, Four Wonders. Let's see the flute part. Time I hear that in game, you literally can hear this in Sumeru City just walking around. Just this random, just gorgeous flute tune just going, you know? Like, why? But also, yes, you know? Yeah, it has that, like, you raise me up sound, right? It's that bit. Dee da da da. That bit every time is you raise me up. Like, I can't unhear it either, but it is so pretty. Oh my gosh. The other really pretty one, again, you just kind of hear this, like, it's like in a different part of the region, but what? I mean, like, why so randomly beautiful? Like, why? Yeah, it sounds like Danny Boy! Wait, you're right! It does sound like Danny Boy! Like, why so beautiful? Like, you're just walking around! You're just walking around! Like, what? It's just this random gorgeous, like, flute. Like, I literally just get so distracted walking around, I just kind of stand there and just listen. Like, it's... Like, my God. You know? There it is. I mean, like, why? Why is it so pretty? Like, ah! You know? The one that everyone loves is the Port Ormos theme. So there's a port called Port Ormos, and for some reason, the music is just banging there. Like, it's just... Let me do that one more time. And then it repeats it again. And then it just goes... first time. Okay, let's try again. There it is. I'm still learning this, as you guys can hear. And it's just this like super banging beat, you know? Like every time you go to Port Ormos, you just end up like, ugh, yeah, you know? Like, and that low flute sound is just, it's so good. It's like, it's so good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed me just actually being a complete nerd. One day I will do proper covers of those tunes. I realized that there was not a single time that I played through any of that where I didn't make a mistake. I swear, one of these days I will know them so well that I will not make a mistake while playing it. And then I can actually like make it its own video. But for right now, we still need to practice a little bit because ideally I want to play them without looking at the music because otherwise I don't get the expression right. So yes, it's time for me to go. I'm kind of sad because I don't really want to end, but I really need to go to the bathroom. So, I hope you guys had a lovely time today with me. I know I had a really great time with you guys. Really fun chatting, you know, just being a nerd together. That was really fun. So thank you again to Hyperflute for sponsoring 15 minutes of today's stream. We love you very much. And if you want to get your copy of Hyperflute Volume 1, use my code HYPERJAF for 15% off up until next week. That's right. Limited time. Okay. Yeah, use my affiliate link to get there. Yay. Okay. So I think that's it. Wow, so anticlimactic. Anyway, hi, Learn Music. You were here this whole time. Hello. Karani, hello. Thank you guys for joining me today. I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. And for my American folks, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I will see you guys for sure next week, same time, 2 p.m. PT Pacific time, November 28th. I have no idea if I'm going to do more like private practice streams this week. I don't know. I might just kind of end up taking the week off, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing this week. A lot of cooking. So I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. And I shall see you guys at least next week. Laters, guys. Bye-bye.